Hello, and welcome back to the Creativity Broadcast. I'm Laura, your host. I'm here to do another collective creativity reading. And this reading is for you if you are a creative person, if you're working on a creative project, or if you're trying to deepen your relationship with your creative spirit and the great beyond and how it's all connected. So before we begin, just a reminder that these readings are for our own collective benefit and for your personal benefit. And the whole point of that is to be able to listen through the lens of your own intuition and take what it is that resonates for you. So let's see. For today, let's just go ahead and take a deep breath. Just giving ourselves a moment to settle in. If you're new here, welcome. Maybe take a moment and grab a journal or a cup of tea or something to just sit here and be with me and the collective, but also to get to just spend a little bit of time connecting with you. As I'm moving through this reading, if it's feeling supportive to you and resonating, go ahead and give a like. It kind of helps me know what's sticking. Okay, so the message that I'm getting to start is I'm seeing almost like a little break in reality, almost like there's like a screen and there's like a little gash in it. That's so interesting. Okay, I'm just getting off the bat very strongly to start with Wisdom of Avalon for today. All right, let's see. Wisdom of Avalon gave me a really intense reading last week. It's been sitting out on my desk ever since, and I kind of didn't want to disassemble it. Maybe I'll just put it back on display after this is complete. All right, let's see. Overarching message for today. Let's see what is coming out for us. Is there another one? The frog and risk. Whoa. Okay, so before we get into the reading of this, I need to tell you all that when I took the deck out of the box, sometimes I look at whatever card is on the bottom just out of curiosity. It was the frog. So frog was really asking to come through. And I mean, first of all, look at this guy. He's definitely got a message for us. And 14. Animal Guides of Avalon, the frog, cleaning house, releasing emotional baggage. Look at him. He wants us to clean house emotionally. And then we have a sacred journey marker that also came through, 40. It's risk. Wow. Yeah, it's so interesting. There's just a general feeling in this of being in the woods and being open to the wilderness, being curious about it, needing to lighten your load, and also the awareness of like many possibilities that might be out of your comfort zone, and probably a need to, as a theme on this channel, to really like purify so that your next steps, which may be out of your comfort zone, are making sense. And I'm also getting, based on that initial image that I just got at the top about like the break in the screen, the break in reality, that like this experience might in the past, frog and risk together, kind of feeling like you're at a crossroads, might have landed in a certain way with you, like it would have been scary or tumultuous or what have you. But what I'm getting is that this message is for somebody who is finding themselves at a crossroads because of this sort of like break in normal reality. Like they're actually having a different experience of being in crossroads than ever before. It's almost like you're staring at something that you've seen in a particular way for a really, really long time without even really noticing it. And suddenly there's just like this blip of suddenly you can see it very differently. You see yourself very differently. And there may also be an experience of giant leaps, like having major shortcuts from point, instead of being like point A, point B, point C, it's more like A all the way to W in a way that you could not have expected. And it's feeling risky because it's having you need to see yourself differently and kind of choose this other way of seeing yourself, really letting go of some baggage that you've really been carrying about yourself in particular, or about the like the area of life or the topic. But yeah, I'm really getting that kind of like break in reality thing. Like something feels sort of broken, but not in a bad way. Okay, so with that, let's see what Wisdom of Avalon wants us to know. Okay, so we're starting with the frog. I don't know if any of you have read my book, How to Be Creative in the Age of Digital Noise, but you know that the frog is sort of like the patron saint of sensitive people and their ability to create. So I'm pretty excited about this. Okay. The frog, cleaning house, releasing emotional baggage. The frog says that it's time to clean house and get rid of the clutter in your environment, your head, and your heart. Move out any objects, thoughts, or relationships that hold you back. It's time to get rid of anything that clutters your life or your space and unwanted burdensome energy, or anything that weighs heavily on your heart. Look around you and take stock of what surrounds you. Does what you see hold positive and supportive energy? If not, it's time to throw it away and release it so that it in turn will release you from its influence. When the frog appears, it's always spring. When the frog appears, it's always spring and time for cleaning your house so you can allow new and fresh energy to enter your world. The frog says it's time to release all things no longer appropriate to bring on your journey. Then you can hop to the next lily pad, light and free. Yeah, resonates. Okay, let's talk about risk now. Risk. This marker brings excitement to your path. You cannot know the outcome of the action you're being called to take until you take it. So I gotta read this. It's just telling me like read this, like emphasize this part. Okay. You cannot know the outcome of the action you're being called to take until you do it. In this way, you're required to be blind in the forest for a time, risking all that you know and all you've acquired on your journey for the potential of something better. Perhaps the training you require demands faith in what you cannot experience with your five senses. But reliance on the sixth sense, your intuition, can provide you with another type of sight to aid you on your journey. Very important questions can be answered now. Is engaging in the situation worth the risk? Or does my inner sight tell me to wait until another opportunity comes? Am I willing to learn a lesson of defeat and surrender to the promise of unknown potential? Pray for guidance and ask for a sign. If the answer is yes, take the risk. If no, rest, regroup, and wait on the will of the divine mystery. Another sacred journey marker may reveal the answer. Fascinating. So this card is also suggesting that, you know, we may be feeling a little bit nervous about changing directions, or maybe you're choosing between a couple of different paths, and taking action requires making a choice. That's interesting. I'm getting for some of us that you are maybe sort of battling parts of you in this, like there's a part of you that is mature and present and fresh and optimistic, saying don't take this too seriously. but there's another part of you that feels you're never sure if it's your intuition or if it's a fearful voice or something dragging the past into the present, asking you to say, just to acknowledge, like, well, there is some gravity to it. Like maybe this has something to do with your identity or like a way that you've held yourself or a way that you've created for a very long time. And it's feeling very, like toggling between it's okay, we're taking risks, and like deeply emotional. Like there's some toggle happening there. Fascinating. Okay. For a little bit more clarification. Okay, we're gonna, because of this like ask for a sign thing that just came through, we're gonna go for Angelic Lightwork, and we're gonna ask Angelic Lightwork Oracle just to be a little bit more clear about some things that feel like choices on the table right now. Like what's the underlying thing we need to be paying attention to? You're going to jump out at me when you're ready. Was that it? I'm not sure. Okay, that was it. All right. Finding what was lost. Number 6. How sweet. Look at this. Okay, finding what was lost. I'm getting treasure. Almost like a treasure. Oh. I'm getting like almost like you created a treasure box as a child. And you buried it in the backyard. And you are finding it again. But you're finding it not with your adult eyes. You're finding it with your child's heart. You're finding it with almost this Neverland sense of like touching a love or a passion that you thought was gone forever. And here, look, we have a heart in the middle, almost like a heart shine. Like I'm really getting the 4th energy center, the heart chakra, like a feeling of coming back. So this might be a passion, it might be a relationship, it might be a way of thinking about yourself. But either way, this is a very warm, sweet reunion energy. Unexpected. Okay, let's see. Who is it coming through for this one? Finding what was lost. Number 6. From the perspective of the divine, nothing and no one can ever be lost because all creation dwells within the realm of divine awareness. Okay, got it. Okay. However, we might sometimes feel lost to ourselves, disconnected, and uncertain about who we are, where we belong, and what we are meant to do. At other times, we may feel that we have attracted lost souls that need comfort and guidance. Those souls could be in physical form, or perhaps left their physical bodies behind and be making their way toward the spiritual light that calls them home. We may yearn to reconnect with talents and emotional states to reclaim a part of our being that we seem to have lost somewhere along the way. This oracle brings hope that anything lost shall be restored. All are held in the loving protection of the angels. So this is Archangel Michael, and we're getting a connection to the 6th chakra, to the 3rd eye. Wow. Yeah. Archangel Michael. Yeah. So this is a message I'm really getting with this one. This is a heart's desire conversation on some level, in that this may not be like, a homecoming feeling of like, sound the trumpets, it's time for a parade. It might be more of like a, like from the movie Hook, like a, oh, there you are, Peter, of feeling like you're coming home to yourself differently. That's beautiful. So of course, we have to pay attention to these other pieces that started the journey, right? If we start at the very beginning of the reading, we might be piercing the veil so that we can kind of get through to the reality of who we know we really are from a heart conversation space. And then, we're feeling kind of risky because we're feeling vulnerable. We're kind of like leaping through to this other version of ourselves. And we're actually needing, again, this has been a conversation on this channel all year, is every step of the way cleansing, purifying. Like this year of the snake, we're shedding so much. And part of what needs to happen when you're shedding is pausing to integrate and cleanse and restore, So, wow, this is a very sweet energy. You'll have to tell me in the comments if this thing about opening up a treasure box from your childhood is resonating. I'm feeling it very strongly. And it's probably also just speaking to like the tenderness of the heart chakra and really just opening ourselves to love and self-acceptance a little bit more. I think next... I think we'll do animal spirit for this kind of like practical advice. I was hesitating because the tenderness of this had me thinking white light oracle, but I'd like to see the animals and their perspective. And then we'll see where that takes us. Card on the bottom of the deck right now, Phoenix. All right. Please have the cards jump out at us as I'm shuffling. Whatever it is we need to clarify this, recovering what was lost. Oh, geez. Oh. Owl. Gazelle. And then bottom of the deck now, hummingbird. We'll see if we come back to that. Owl. We have this soft, feminine, nocturnal, dreamlike self coming through. This may be because this is the part of you emerging. That's just asking to take more of a leadership role in your life, but it also could be as simple as allowing for the more nocturnal, dreamlike side of you to be the gateway for more information. Owl is also very wise, obviously, and part of Owl's wisdom is discernment. Owl swoops and shows herself only when she's certain about the impact of that. She's not flying around willy-nilly. We hardly ever see her. And again, with that like lunar wisdom coming through. Interestingly, next to Owl, we have Gazelle. Gazelle is a creature of the sun. So we have kind of like this balance, this sort of duality of both sides of us. We have the night self and the day self. Gazelle has the sun behind her, and she also lives as part of this like community, this like thriving ecosystem by day versus the owl hunting probably by herself at night. But Gazelle is also very gentle. So it's another feminine energy. It's another very soft, loving. This is an integration energy. This is like, I'm going to be graceful with the fact that I'm changing, and I'm not going to force things. I'm actually going to flow with. Yeah, wow, this is very powerful. Let's just start with Owl here. Oh, you all are going to like this. You are going to like this. Okay. Abundance, clairvoyant, treasures. Treasures. The owl is a mysterious and otherworldly creature found in folklore from east to west. The white owl in this particular deck is the companion of the goddess Lakshmi and represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. When the owl card appears, it's an omen that a boon or treasure is on the way, either in spiritual or material form. With owl wisdom on your side, you'll see and know exactly what to do with this boon, how it can further serve your dharma and bring abundance to the world. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. When in balance, generous, trusting, secure. When out of balance, money quarrels or scarcity. To bring into balance, an offering. Yeah, so there's this trust in the divine. There's this trust in the unseen, this trust in mysticism and beauty. Wow. Exciting. Very exciting. Very promising. All right, Gazelle. Interestingly, Gazelle appears in the suit of fire, not earth, but fire. So this is also, again, assisting in transitions and change. Okay, heightened awareness and ability, vulnerable. The Gazelle represents supreme grace. With every move, this awe-inspiring beauty emits sophistication and elegance. Gazelle personalities are often hyper-aware of their surroundings, bordering on hyper-vigilant, and this can inhibit them from enjoying the beauty they've spent so much effort cultivating. No more worrying about all those predators out there in the wild. When this card appears, it's time to get back to the present moment. Sit down, find your breath, and acknowledge the bounty that surrounds you. Let it nourish your gentle spirit. When in balance, graceful, perceptive, artistic. When out of balance, food allergies, insomnia, racing mind, or body problems. Anyone else having body problems? I'm cycling through every single body problem that I typically get. It's like one after the other. It's just like body processing stuff. Racing mind. To bring into balance, yin yoga, a cozy home, and good food. So yeah, just this very strong message of like, hey, your inner artist, you've been creating a life for your inner artist to really thrive. And maybe all the circumstances aren't perfect. They're never going to be perfect. It's actually time to practice not being preoccupied with that and sinking in a little bit deeper at a time to the beauty of what you have created for yourself. Pretty good. I would say that is absolutely gorgeous, on the nose. Amazing. I think for final advice, we're going to go for Starseed Oracle, Rebecca Campbell. This is just the last little bit here. Okay. Again, I'm just going to ask that as I shuffle, the card that we need to hear around this is going to jump out. Now it's really asking me to be patient. Interesting. it's almost like this deck is saying that's enough. Like it's actually asking me not to read. Fascinating. I do want to say, I just looked at the card on the bottom of the deck, and what I'm getting is Activated Earth. And why this is grabbing my attention is because one of the readers that I like to watch on YouTube did an hour-long video just this morning, mostly surrounding Activated Earth. And so I'd like to just take a moment and acknowledge that. That is very astute. All right. Look at this. Look at the, oh my God. Wait, this is kind of like that screen I was saying before, right? Where we have this like at the very beginning, and I was like, it's like there's a screen and there's just like a poking through. Look at that. Oh my God. This stuff is crazy. Okay. Power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. Yeah, so this is definitely that continuing in the forest energy. Ley lines are invisible pathways on the land along which energy travels. They can be sensed when we tune into them with our subtle senses. Again, your intuition, that is like, I think asking to be underscored in this reading today is the, like really starting to acknowledge your intuition and its power. Also known as spirit paths, they've been compared to meridian system of the body used in Chinese medicine, and they link sacred sites, stone circles, burial mounds, and places of worship worldwide. In Australian Aboriginal culture, song lines were the paths traveled by the creator beings as they made the land and sea during the dreaming. These paths were recorded in the traditional songs and dances of the people, allowing them to access information about the land's history and to travel safely along great distances. Many believe that as we visit such sacred points on Earth, something is activated within us. Some also believe that by connecting with the land, with devotion at these sacred places, something is activated within the planet too. Are you being called to travel to a sacred place that your soul remembers, or to tend the land you live on, to honor and acknowledge the known and unknown keepers or nature spirits of that land? As you connect with the earth and honor its keepers, the land opens up more fully to hold you. The fruits provide more nourishment. The guardians watch over you. Yeah, this is about heart portal and the relationship with our land and letting our body and our energy centers not only be activated, but felt more deeply, and also to get more interested in relationship with the places where we live and the places that nourish us. So it's not, I think sometimes in our culture, we can get very like grabby, especially if we're doing manifestation work. It can be very focused on ourselves about like, what am I getting? What am I getting? Where is it? Is it coming? You know, and this is really more about, again, to the point of the Gazelle, kind of seeing yourself as part of a whole and getting curious about your contribution and your relationship with the physical environment. Cool. All right, everyone. Wow, this was a wild ride, huh? Okay. Thanks again for watching. I really hope this was helpful. Go ahead and subscribe for more. And again, give us a like if it was useful. Please leave a comment. I always love hearing from you all. The more the merrier. And I'll see you later.